Hey guys, it's Elizabeth. I have been missing in action for all of the days. Sorry about that. I wanted to come to you today and give you an update. It is, I don't even know what, it's Thursday, October 10th, 2019, and this is my 957,000 week post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy update. Not really. It's my, I'm probably 5.5 years out from vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I'm not going to go into all the stats today because today's video is a little different, but I wanted to let you know what's going on. And also today is National Mental Health Awareness Day, so I thought this was a good day to talk about this stuff. So my life has been super busy the last few months. Work has been crazy. My mother has been transitioning into an assisted living situation, which that was fun, and we're not done with it yet. I have to clean out her house over the next week or so. And so there's been lots of emotions around that. My diet and exercise have been in the toilet, basically. When I last came to you guys, I was really committed to losing 25 pounds by the time I went to Bogota, which is in it's about 6 weeks from now. But I said that in July. I have not lost weight. I haven't gained, I have gained weight, but ebb and flow, but ultimately I'm at the same weight I was when I left to go to Bogota in July. So a few weeks ago, I went to a retreat called a Spiritual AF retreat. So I believe I've talked about Roxanne McDonald here on YouTube. If not, I definitely have on Instagram. She has an Instagram page called Spiritual AF, and she does a podcast with Joe Clements that's called the Spiritual AF or whatever podcast. I will link to all those things below. So I've been following her on Instagram for a while. I met her in LA. I thought she was amazing and funny, and I loved her take on spirituality and just in general. So in the email about this, so I signed up for this retreat, which I had never done before, particularly going somewhere without anybody that I knew. So in the first email or in the description of a retreat, it was like, what you won't find at this retreat, like ecstatic dancing, having to stare somebody in the eyes and whatever. So, like all those things that you would traditionally think maybe would be at a woo-woo spiritual retreat. She was very clear that this was a spiritual retreat without the woo-woo. So I didn't have a lot of expectations about it. Came at a time that I really needed it. I had been very, the stuff around my mom's situation had been weighing on me very heavily. I had a lot of mixed emotions about it, a lot of resentment, it was calling on me to show up in a way I didn't really want to. But I knew I needed to. I knew I was the kind of person who would and who should, and I would be very disappointed in myself if I didn't, but there was a lot going on. Sorry. I was looking to see how messy my side table was because you can see it all. But who cares? And I was just not in the world's greatest place. So the retreat was yoga, the retreat was meditation, and the retreat was, I don't know. Everybody has a different definition of spirituality, and she says spirituality without the woo-woo. There were two premises to the retreat that were so super helpful for me, and I wanted to share those with you today, and they really do relate. This is a weight loss surgery channel. They really do relate to my weight loss process and what's going on with me 5 years after losing a considerable amount of weight. So, one of the first things she said when we started talking was, think about this. What would it mean if there was nothing wrong with you? What? What would it mean if there was nothing wrong with me? Are you crazy? I have spent my whole life going from, okay, this is wrong. I need to fix this. Okay, this is fixed. And then this is still wrong. And if only I'll find this final level of perfection, then I can be loved or liked or successful or whatever, all the things. But it's like, what if there's nothing wrong with me? What if in this very moment, whatever is going on with you, what if everything is perfect? And what if there is nothing wrong with you? What if there's nothing wrong with you? So I haven't even fully wrapped my head around that at this point, but it's in the back of my mind. When I start beating up on myself or hearing somebody else beat up on themselves, I'm like, What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if there's nothing wrong with him? What if there's nothing wrong with them? What? Hmm. 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 Interesting. So I've been pondering that a lot. And then the other thing she was talking about, and Roxanne, I'm sorry if you're watching this and I'm not articulating it correctly, but she brought up the idea of what's the kindest, bravest thing that you can do for yourself. And she was talking of it in the context of maybe when you're in a spiral, if you're in a shame spiral or a grief spiral, or you're, you know, eating, binge eating, or you can't get out of bed and you can't face the world, and or all you want to do is binge watch TV, and you don't, and you feel like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've been in many of those situations. And what happens is, for whatever reason, that's a it's a tool that I've developed to protect myself, to save myself, to comfort myself, to soothe myself, to do whatever, whether that's eating or not being able to get out of bed or watching TV or drinking or whatever. And when I would get into the cycle of doing that, I would start beating up on myself. And it would be this repetitive cycle of, okay, so you stay in bed all day. It's a Saturday, you stay in bed all day. You don't even get up. You don't take a shower. You don't do any of the things. Oh my God, you're such a fuck up, Elizabeth. How can you do this? How can you be laying in your bed? You have all these things to do. And it's the shame spiral goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And I had been doing it a lot with myself in relation to eating and exercise, because I was very off track what I needed, what I knew I should be doing. And I was also binge eating, which I don't do very often. I mean, there's a limit to what you can binge eat when you have weight loss surgery, but I was eating compulsively versus to provide nourishment to myself. So that, I mean, all that stuff, I was thinking about it. I was contemplating it on the drive home from Ojai. I was like, what does that mean? I mean, and here's even an example from the retreat. So someone was at the retreat who needed a ride back to LA. We were in Ojai. And I had really planned on taking that time on the drive back to sort of process the things that I was going through, or I had learned and listened to. And on Sunday morning, she asked if I could drive her to LA. And I said a very begrudging yes. And I know it was clear to her I was saying a begrudging yes. And in my head, and it had nothing to do with her, but I didn't want to do it because I had really been looking forward to that alone time. And right after she asked me, we were doing yoga. And the whole time during the yoga, I was like, what's the kindest, bravest thing you can do? And it's like, really? The kindest, bravest thing is for me to say, no, I really wanted this time for myself. And then I was like, yeah, but then everybody's going to think I'm an asshole and I don't really know these people and I really like them and I want them to like me. And if I say no to her, they're going to really think I'm an asshole. What's the kindest, bravest thing you can do for yourself? This weekend and this retreat is for you. The kindest, bravest thing you can do is kindly say, I apologize, but I thought about this and I was really looking forward to having that time alone. And I did. And that's pretty incredible. I don't know. I'm a doer and a people pleaser. And I, more than saying no to the person, was the idea of what are the other people in this room going to think about me, that I don't want to do that. And ultimately, I thought, kindest, bravest thing I can do for myself is take care of myself, to realize that this weekend was for me, and that includes the ride home. So that was a big step. Then I came home and immediately got all stressed out about the stuff with my mom again and what I was going to have to do, and cleaning out her house and feeling resentful and pissed off and all the things. And I thought, what's the kindest, bravest thing I can do for myself? I can ask a friend to come do this with me. Not because I need her help so much, but because I need somebody who's going to make me laugh and look at it with humor and not get all pissed off. So I thought, okay. And in all honesty, this is probably the very first time I've asked a friend to do something like this, that it was really more about moral support than actually, my car broke down. Can you pick me up? And I don't even do that. I don't ever ask anybody to take me to the airport. I don't do any of those things. So I asked, and this is somebody who's very busy professionally and with her family and everything else. And it's like, absolutely, 100%. Can we do it this day? Yes. And I have to tell you, I got all teary at how quickly she responded that, yes, of course, I'll always help you. 100%, I'm in. As it's transpired, I have gotten less emotional and resentful and decided I would prefer not to have help during the day and would rather go to her house and hang out and have puffy tacos the next day. So that's what I'm doing. But anyway, the mere idea of what's the kindest, bravest thing I can do for myself, and that thing is asking for help from someone who loves and cares about me. So then I'm still eating out of control and I'm not exercising, and I'm feeling really guilty about the exercising. And every time, I tell Brandon I'm coming and I don't, or I make an excuse or whatever, I am getting into a shame spiral about it. So it's like every day when I don't do it and he's, kindly reaching out and encouraging me, I'm beating myself up and I'm thinking I'm disappointing in him. I'm disappointing me. I know what I need to be doing. I'm such a fucking asshole. What's the kindest, bravest thing you can do for yourself? And I realized that the kindest, bravest thing I could do for myself was to be honest with him and say, and I didn't say it exactly this way because it was no text, but it was like, you know what? I'm really all up in my head about eating and working out right now. And I have to take this off the table because every day I make a commitment to you and to myself and I break it. I am only repeating the shame. I am only increasing the shame cycle of beating myself up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I got to take a break. I'll be back. I know I'll be back. But for right now, I need to take it off the table. And he's like, absolutely, 100% understand. If there's another way I can support you, let me know. So number one, look at all these amazing people I have in my life who are willing to support me if I'll just be honest and show up and think about what's the bravest, kindest thing I can do for myself. So anyway, that's what I've been playing around with. Well, since I did that, I decided also to one small step it, because that is what works for me. So right now, my one small stepping is tracking my food and drinking my water. And I've done that for 3 days now, and I feel great. And, the water weight is coming off because I'm not binging. But I'm not beating up on myself on if I am not doing keto or if I eat a cookie, or all I have to do is track the food and drink my water. So that's what's going on from a mental health perspective. If you guys would like to share down below, I would love it. What's the kindest, bravest thing you can do for yourself today in recognition of Mental Health Awareness Day? I mean, it's really changed the way I'm processing things to think about it that way. So there's that. And then I wanted to give you a really quick plastics update. So last Friday, I was speaking with Dr. Weiner about something, and I was talking to him about the fact that, I found a plastic surgeon in Bogota, but I have to lose, 35 pounds or 30 pounds before I can have surgery with her. And I just don't think it's going to happen. And that's going to be really hard for me at this point. But that's where I can afford it. He's like, I think I would encourage you to try to find a price you can afford here. And get it done without losing that weight, because you've been at this weight for a fair amount of time. It's going to make a huge difference in how you feel about yourself. I think you should move forward and do that. I was like, okay. So it just so happened that Friday was Obesity Help was here. And where was everybody from YouTube at Obesity Help? I saw maybe one or two people that I knew there. Except for the people that I really know. So I went, I had 2 consults. The first one was with Dr. Rodrigo, who's in Monterrey, Mexico. I have not received his quote yet, but after that, I had another consultation with Dr. Katzen. And that's where as long as I can figure out the financing of this, that's where I'm going to go. I should know that within a week or two. The quote he gave me was very reasonable. And so I'm looking at doing abdominoplasty, one surgery that's abdominoplasty, and then one surgery that is a brachioplasty, torsoplasty, breast lift and augmentation early next year. So have to get the financing figured out, and then I need to talk to them about the schedule. But I'm looking at early February and probably late May, early June for that. So of course I will take you guys along the ride with that. I'm really feeling like it's really going to happen, and I have a little bit of butterflies in my stomach, honestly, about it, but in a good way. It's kind of like the final jumping off the high diving board of what could my life be now that I've lost this weight. So I actually Instagram Live my plastics consult. I didn't get to it in time to download the video, but I just thought it would be good for people to see what the consult was like and what it looks like, to have this much, to be 53 years old and have lost this much weight, kept it off for 5 years. And yeah, so anyway, that's what I have going on. I love you guys. I have not been around social media or YouTube a lot, really, because I was in my head about being a fuck up with my food and exercise. But you know what? I need to be on social media whether I'm feeling like a fuck up or not, because here's the bottom line. We all fail, and we all need to pick ourselves up, and we all need to be kind to ourselves, and we are all valuable people, whether we're eating ice cream and exercising or eating ice cream and not exercising or weigh 110 pounds. We are all valuable, worthy people. So anyway, so come play with me on Instagram, Blast in Release Baby. Put it down below. Follow Spiritual AF on Instagram if you like. She's hysterical, and she has the best cute animal and baby videos of anybody I know. If you're into podcasts, check out her podcast, Spiritual AF or whatever. I'm hoping to get her to do a Naked Truth with me sometime soon. And what else? I don't know. Have a great day. Say hello. Let me know what's been going on. All right. Love you guys. Bye.